It's John Locke, representing the Enlightenment. I got it on lock. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence?
Yeah.
It's Thomas Jefferson.
It's James Madison, follower of the Constitution.
Yo, I'm the thinker with the theories about the government. Got the Enlightenment on lock because I'm running it. You wanna be Beyonce's? Change your clothes. I wrote down thoughts and I changed the code. Like, we're born with
hello, thank you for joining.
Then we form governments to make the people act nice.
Oh, wait just a second.
You could
I'm not just gonna show you this.
When we set up governments, this is what we all should do. The powers of the state should be separate in case the king is a jerk and not a gentleman. Plus, I wrote about religious
Max screen is too wide.
Take religion or abolish it. I advocate revolution like Che. When the state gets too powerful and too paid, your whole country owes me a debt. The name's John Locke. Don't forget.
Hey yo, I'm ill with the 12 skills. I'm Thomas Jefferson. Every line I wrote probably hit you like some medicine. British Parliament, they won't even let us in. I've got a bright idea like Thomas Edison. We'll govern ourselves, tell the English peace. Founding fathers agreed, they called upon me to write a declaration that we should be free. What should I put in it? Well, let's see. Inspiration came from the Enlightenment.
Okay. Hello, I am Andrea Reynolds, and that is Flocabulary, and I am going to talk about that another time. I have actually written a rap about that website because it is that amazing. It is a paid site, but you can do a free trial. This is not about that. Like I said, I'm Andrea Reynolds. I am a former classroom teacher turned social studies whisperer, and I help make social studies creative and engaging, and I want to ignite the American Revolution. No, I don't. I want to ignite a revolution to bring American history back, and it is my passion. I love integrating technology and literacy, and especially writing, because I love to write. So I was going through my garage today trying to find a book, and I finally found it. So I was trying to broadcast from, there's like, the blinds are open and the sun is like right in my face. So I'm gonna close it real quick. So I found like the perfect broadcasting location in my new apartment. Okay, so Constitution Day is on Saturday, and you know, it's up to you whenever you teach it. If you're homeschooling, you could do, or classroom teacher, you could do Friday, or you could talk about it Saturday. And if you're a parent, I would definitely advise you to at least mention the Constitution somewhat, because it is, you know, a part of the law that you are, I think the law, I have it wrong, that you're supposed to teach it. So just in case social studies is getting the short straw, you might want to mention it to your kids, because the Constitution is the foundation for our country's government, so it's kind of important, right? So yesterday I talked about maybe making your own family's constitution, and also letting them, I'll slow myself down. The ums are I know I talk too fast, so I try to like stop myself with ums. That's why you get the ums. I breathe. I talked about like setting up rules, and I also have like a whole database of Constitution Day resources on my website. It's the very first post. It's socialstudieswhisperer.com, and you can find a link to that in my Periscope profile. So like I said, that was Flocabulary. I like using a lot of songs and clips, and let me show you a website that is going to be really, really helpful for anything American history. I'm sure you have heard of the National Archives. Here's Flocabulary. This is what I was showing you at first. Okay? It is not just a museum or a storage house, you know, in Washington, D.C. Or there are also branches in other places, because there's one in Metro Atlanta that I didn't even... every state has their own archives building, and there are other branches of the National Archives besides just the main one in Washington, D.C. So if you live in an area like Atlanta, you can go visit the National Archives here. So if obviously, dum-da-dum, you should recognize that document. That is the Constitution. And so I remember the Constitution because it starts with "We the People." Declaration of Independence was first. You can tell your kids, because they had to set aside a way to be their own country before they could write the rules, right? So you can search through all of these documents and look right here. You can actually show your kids like what the Constitution looked like, and they're not going to be able to read it because kids can't read cursive anyways half the time. But this, I mean, this tiny, tiny script, you can break down parts of it. And it also has, a transcript. It has lots of resources to go with it. So I would definitely check out the National Archives site. And yesterday I was talking about before you teach the Constitution, it's probably a good idea to go back and do a little refresher for yourself. And so this is a great place to do it, the National Archives. And it's not, don't look for National Archives, it's archives.gov. And I actually did a post about 5 really good websites for social studies. And if you just search on my website right here in the search bar and hit social studies websites, you're going to get a link straight to that. So, and this is the post with the Constitution Day stuff. Okay. One thing I did not mention is this book right here. It is the book I was searching for everywhere. Now this is for little kids, but I did read it to 5th grade last year. I got it on Amazon, and I don't know if it's available like in a Kindle format, but with Amazon Prime shipping, hey, you order it tonight, then there you go. Or like I said, I've said this before and I'll say it again, Constitution Day is not Constitution Day. Constitution Day is all year round. So maybe your family gets really, really interested in the Constitution and you guys just take off and do all kinds of activities for a few weeks. And I have tons of ideas on there that could probably last you a whole entire year. So I really like this book because the preamble is the introduction to the Constitution. It's the why. It's the why. And then the first articles are like the how, and they knew how it's going to happen and the way that the government was going to be set up, and they knew they were going to be adding the Bill of Rights when they did it. So it breaks it down into kid-friendly language. This was great for my 5th graders last year, and it really, honestly, I think older kids still like picture books. I almost said story-books, wow. Picture books, and I think it's good to still do read-alouds no matter what age your kids are. I don't think my son, my 14-year-old, though, would probably like look at me crazy if I tried to read this to him. But the very first, the illustrations are really cute too, and you can have your kids look for this little dog because he's on every single page, and that's kind of a really fun thing that has them pay attention. And the part I like the best is that right here at the very beginning, they kind of give a preface for why they wrote it, and then they break down what all this like antiquated language, what it all means. If my phone would focus, that would be awesome. So this, I made a copy of this page and kept it so I could look at it to remember for myself. So this is really good, and you could, if you wanted to, you could make little vocabulary cards out of these. Like you could write or type this on an index card. I'm all about index cards for everything, or post-it notes. I have hordes of them still, even though I use them all the time. Write preamble on the front, and then make little flashcards and write the definition on the back if you want to really get into it and have them remember it. So then it goes through, and it's really cute because the pictures kind of go along with the part of the preamble. So, and like I said, the dog is on every page, and so it's just really cute because I like making connections to real life. So I definitely, no matter what age you're teaching or what age children you have, I would get this book because it's just really cute. So, and like I said, Amazon.com, and it's called We the People. No, it's not. It's called We the Kids. Sorry. We the Kids, not We the People. We the People is the preamble. Okay, so I have done a Facebook Live before talking about Kids Discover. And this is a resource that you can order a print copy, but their website, you can access all their little magazines as an app or as a digital version. So, and they're like less than $5. So you could buy this and access it today. Now, the thing about Kids Discover, they don't have Amazon Prime shipping. So I'm spoiled by Amazon Prime. It's like every time I don't get something in 2 days, I freak out. But this one, they take a few weeks. So you're not going to have this by Constitution Day if you order the print copy. I have a bunch of these. They're really, I love them because they are very colorful and they break things down in a really easy way to understand. And this is way more interesting than a workbook or a textbook or any kind of set. I just don't believe in set curriculums. I won't get into that more right now. So this breaks it down and makes it a little easier to understand too. So I would definitely check out Kids Discover. And you sign up for their email list and they will send you a free email with 5 free not a free email, an email with 5 free topics to your inbox every week. And they don't try to sell you anything, and they do send you coupon codes when they're having a sale. Okay, so that is just a few things. And one more quick thing. I have a date with a guy that I met last night, and this is already second date, and I really like him, and I am very distracted thinking about him, so I am not bringing my A game with my social studies content. I am sorry. So, true confessions, a little all over the place. So, haven't been dealing with dating again in a while, so I forgot what it's like to have your head in the clouds. Okay, anywho, that was my little commercial for why I'm all over the place. Okay, so this is called Windows Notes, and I have shared about this in the past, and I just made this in PowerPoint real quickly, and it's, of course, I wouldn't use script font for younger kids, and you could just have kids draw this on a piece of paper, or if you're using interactive notebooks, and it's based on a strategy that I learned about in my gifted endorsement, and I will talk about this again because I use this for every social studies topic ever. And basically the breakdown is facts, feelings, questions, connections, and they're all related to a learning style, and it has to do with like if you're self-expressive or if you're like mastery. This is all like, this is not how my brain is wired. This one is my brain. It's like connections are like new ideas. Like if you're really good like making up like metaphors and analogies, like creative brains. This one is me, and this one is me second. Okay, I love this because whenever you're learning something new, you know how you get distracted if your kids ask a bazillion questions? Well, when I was in the classroom last year, every time I taught something, I would have them make this because they wouldn't interrupt me to ask questions, because I would just say, write it in your Windows notes, write it in your Windows notes, write your questions, and we'll get back to it later. And there are a lot of really intense things you talk about in social studies / history, and so it's important to have kids like have an outlet for their feelings. So you can have them just pick like one box to do, or you can have them do all 4, like when you're talking about any topic in social studies at all. Okay, you could really do this in science too, or really in math. I've done this with science and math. I mean, not math. I didn't teach math last year. My coworker who was doing the endorsement used this in math. So this one, since this naturally falls into the Constitution, like these questions, I gave them, this is your traditional way of taking notes. This is all you do, okay? The creative brain people like me, this is boring to us. We need to have, we're gonna not be paying attention to a lesson or an activity if we don't feel connected. And when we're able to, when we're like talking about the Constitution and how we don't like that, you know, I bet if I was a kid thinking about the Constitution, I would probably be distracted thinking about, well, why did it just say men and it didn't talk about women? And so that's what I would be distracted thinking if I was a kid. And so here, instead of just going to my brain thinking about that over and over and over, well, I have a spot to write that down, and then I can come back and pay attention to the lesson instead of just thinking about it and going off in a tangent in my brain. Y'all just don't know how the creative brain works. So this is also good too, because they can draw a connection between, like, if your family has rules, like your family's rules. So try this strategy out. If you want me to email this to you, I will be happy to, and I can send it to you in an editable format so that you don't have the script font. And like I said, just contact me on my website. And this is not my mailing list. I said this yesterday, so you're not going to automatically be signed up for my mailing list, and unless you want to, and that's right there. So it's the socialstudieswhisperer.com. And once again, try out Flocabulary. It's really fun. Now, some of this, if you have little kids, this is going to go over their heads, but it is going to be catchy, and you're going to get it stuck in your head. And so eventually they might learn it, and you can do a free trial. So just try Flocabulary.com, and trust me, you're going to love it. I love this website. So much so that I have a free subscription right now because I entered a contest explaining why I loved it, and I won the contest. So that's why I have a free subscription. And then National Archives right here, you can look at the actual Constitution. So thank you for watching, and I am going to do part 3 tomorrow. And I'm going to show you some videos, and I'm going to show you a little trick to make sure that your videos are ad-free and appropriate for kids. I mentioned it in Scope yesterday, and a lot of people didn't know what I was talking about, and so I thought I would just show a demo of what SafeShare is tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and let's put it back on this right here, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.